Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the latest from Æther realm, Redneck Vikings from Hell, out May 1st on Napalm Records. This album has 11 tracks, 53 minutes in length, and this is the band's third full-length studio album, first full-length album that they're releasing since they signed with Napalm Records. This album could be defined with one word: unique. This is an extremely unique record. Super eclectic in its sound. There's no two songs that sound the same, that have the same approach, that have the same structure, that have the same atmosphere, if you will. I'm normally not a huge fan of these kind of records, the super eclectic albums that almost feel like a collection of greatest hits, because they all feel a little bit disconnected. The songs have a hard time merging with each other, and they have a hard time attracting me to the album and allowing me to stay connected with the record. That's normally the case. This album is making me go against my own nature, my own spirit, because this album is a virus. It's absolutely contagious. The moment you start listening to the first song, you're hooked. And then it doesn't matter where it goes, it doesn't matter the dynamic changes that the album has, it doesn't matter the styles, the genres, and honestly, it doesn't really matter where it takes you. You want to be on this ride for the duration of the album. You don't want to get off at any point in time. It's infected, it's contagious, with the hooks, with the melody, with the grooves, with all the different elements, symphonic elements, folk elements, country western elements, the different styles and vocals. Everything that this album has to offer somehow keeps you connected, track after track after track. And when you think you've heard it all, when you think you've seen it all, at the end of the album they throw you an 11-minute instrumental, Craft and the Creator, that will absolutely blow your mind. Includes some Spanish style sounding guitars that Selena would be extremely proud of. This album has everything. Everything. Super dynamic, really alternating styles from song to song. Like I said, there's no two songs alike on the record. So the album is very fluid. It's not a roller coaster ride. First I thought, oh wow, this album feels just like a roller coaster ride with all these ups and downs after each song. No, this is bungee jumping. You go from being on top of the bridge, knowing that life is calm and peaceful, with the next track you're at the bottom of the bridge, screaming your lungs out, hoping that the damn cord doesn't break apart and you die. That's pretty much the feeling of this record. It goes from a peak to a valley in a matter of seconds, just between songs, just the change in songs. The dynamic changes are really incredible throughout the record on a track-by-track basis. Like I said, no two songs sound or feel alike. But then when you look at the individual tracks on the album, they're also extremely dynamic, mixing different genres, mixing different styles, different attributes, different influences that really allow the songs themselves to be that same extreme, to have those same a range of emotions, range of sound within the songs themselves, and then obviously that gets transported to the overall sound of the record. And that's why this album works, because what you have on an individual track basis gets exported to the overall feel and sound of the record. You see them here merging songs that have perhaps a more melodic death metal start with a little bit more of a folk vibe, or a little bit more of a power metal hooky chorus style. These are genres that not necessarily go together, but somehow they found a perfect way to mix and match them in order to create songs that are just absolutely hooky and contagious. I think they're more contagious than they are hooky, because once again, once you go down this path, once you press play on the first song, which is Redneck Vikings from Hell, I've really highly doubted that you will be able to turn off this album, because there's going to be something there that you like. There's going to be a hook that you like. There's going to be a guitar solo that you like. There's going to be a melody that you're going to like. This album has something for everybody. If you like power metal, if you like melodic death metal, if you like more of almost glam metal, if you like some pop influences, some symphonic elements, some western elements, some banjo, classic Spanish guitar sounds. This album has everything. So it's going to be very hard for you not to find songs that you gravitate to. And then even if the song has some elements that you don't like, it changes. It has a dynamic fluidity within the track that gives you other looks, gives you other perspectives. So this is a very contagious album all around. I really love the dynamic fluidity that it has. I love how easy it is to listen to this record, how nicely it plays through. The songs have this perfect balance of mixing a little bit of heaviness with a little bit more melody. So overall, it's a very, very well balanced record that is very volatile at the same time. This album is an absolute rhapsody of sound. Love every minute of it. I enjoyed every second of it. This album absolutely blew my mind. I honestly didn't think these guys could pull something like this off. I didn't think they could create an album that's this eclectic, that is this dynamic. And by the way, when I mean dynamic, I don't mean just from a sound perspective, even though that is perhaps the main element that really pumps out at you, that you really realize how fluid the sound is on this record. But this album is as dynamic musically as it is vocally. They use some different styles of clean vocals, harsh vocals, narrator style vocals. There's choirs, backing vocals. They used a little bit of everything on a vocal perspective to really match the intensity and the dynamic flavor that the sound has. So I'm extremely impressed with this record. To me, this, while being perhaps a little bit out of the box album, they threw everything at the listener, including the kitchen sink and perhaps a six-pack of Corona. I mean, everything came flying at the listener with this record, but I applaud them for taking this approach, for taking this road. It's not an easy approach. It's just perhaps for them the best approach possible, which is saying, we don't have any boundaries to our sound. We're not going to put any boundaries in how we create music and how we create this record. We're just going to put together the best 11 songs that we can put together, bring the best out of all the band members. And that's another element that I found about this record, is that you really feel like everybody contributed at the same level to each and every single song. You can feel it in the songs, you can feel it in how they're performed, and you can feel them in how they're put together. Magnificent record from Æther. I'm absolutely blown away by the creativity on this record and by how well designed, executed, and delivered the album is. As far as songs are concerned, I picked 3 that are my absolute favorite songs. Outside of the singles, I really like the singles, but outside of the singles, these are my 3 favorite songs on the album. I want to start off with Redneck Vikings from Hell, opening track, the name of the album. There is a banjo on this song. So if there's a banjo on a song, I'm picking that song as one of my favorites. I love the sound of the banjo, and in this track, it really gives this western country folk vibe to the song that I absolutely love. Really pulling out of those western American cowboy movies. I love that sound. I love that dynamic. It adds a great flavor to this song. It really matches well with the name of the song, with the title of the album, with the overall sound that you're going to get from this record. So I really love that energy, that use of the banjo. Really adds a different flavor to the track. It makes it a little bit more energetic. Very melodic as far as the bass is concerned. Has a very super hooky, catchy chorus with choir-style vocals that really adds to how hooky that chorus is and how strong it is. It adds so much volume to it. 2 of the other outstanding elements outside of the banjo and how hooky the chorus is, the other 2 outstanding elements of this song, in my opinion, one of them is the narrator-style vocals with a redneck accent. They use it throughout this track. I really like that. Once again, playing really well with the banjo, playing really well on the title of the track, and playing really well on what they want to transmit with this song. Almost like an introduction track to what you're going to get for the rest of the album. The other one is the guitar solos. Having great guitar players allows you to have great guitar solos. This song, in my opinion, being the opening track of the album, really showcases everything that you're going to get on this record. You're going to get great guitar solos, great melody, heaviness, incredible drums. The drums on this album at points are extremely heavy. Dynamic vocals, changing the styles, having narrator, going with harsh vocals, clean vocals, choirs in the chorus. This song is pretty much a synopsis of everything that you're going to get throughout the album, and that is one of the reasons why I love this song. Perfect introduction to the album. Next is Lean Into the Wind, my favorite, absolute, hands down favorite song on the album. I love the symphonic elements that this track has. To me, this, in my opinion, is a symphonic death metal masterpiece. I love the sound, I love the energy. They added some wind soundscapes, which plays really well on the title of the track and on the overall motif of the song. So I really love that soundscape of the wind blowing through the song, adding great atmosphere. The chorus is super melodic and still heavy at the same time. Adding different vocal layers really adds to the darkness and heaviness that it has. The drums are absolutely destructive in the chorus. They feel really pungent, really strong. They really come across very heavy. Another track that has great solos. That's something you're going to get throughout this album, is great guitar playing, and with that comes great solos. This one is another one. The solos really mix a little bit of the brutality and heaviness with a more melodic, organic approach that this song has. The solos are absolutely orgasmic. I love the solos in this song. They just elevate the song. They take the song from a 10 to an absolute 11. I just feel like it just really elevated the overall quality of the sound, the overall quality of the track. The ability to dip a little bit more into the darkness to create some melancholic bridges really shows a different side of this song, because up until the last third of the song, it's a very robust, heavy symphonic death metal track. But then towards the final third, it dips a little bit more into this dark, melancholic approach that just feels very somber. It changes the overall perspective of the song, it changes the dynamic of the song, and then it allows the song to close off on a piano, similar piano that started off the song. Like I said, this song has a lot of symphonic elements. It started off with a piano melody, it finishes off with that same piano melody, going absolutely full circle, but it adds to this absolute darkness in the way it ends. So it's a song that starts off with a little bit of darkness, builds up towards energy, is energetic all the way throughout, and then it closes off with this really extended dark period, or at least more somber side of the song. The closing with the piano is just absolutely magnificent. It's like 1 minute, maybe a little bit more than a minute of piano that just absolutely kills this track and creates such a great mood for the overall song. Next is Hunger. This also has a lot of symphonic elements, not as much as Lean Into the Wind, but this one also has some symphonic elements that really add a different flavor to the track. This is a song that, in my opinion, one of those that's really the most, perhaps, divided into two fields, the verses and the chorus. Every song has that dynamic approach throughout the album in terms of having one style in the verses and one style in the chorus. To me, this one is the one that emphasizes that difference perhaps the most throughout the record. I just feel like there's such a divide between the verses and the chorus. The verses are heavier, they have more of a melodic death metal drive to the sound, and then when you get into the chorus, it's almost more a pure power metal, very hooky, very catchy style chorus, very light-hearted. So it's a complete difference, it's a complete shift in style and melody and approach. This song has that up and down feel, not as accentuated as the overall album, but it has that up and down feel because the two elements are very different. The approach is different, the sound is different, how they're delivered is different. I really like the symphonic bridge that happens towards the last third of the track, that it goes from this symphonic, beautiful symphonic bridge into the solos. That transition there is absolutely amazing, really well done. It adds a lot of quality, it adds a lot of sound, a lot of volume to the overall track, allowing the song to then explode at the end and create a very unique, very robust, very dynamic track that still has tons of melody and heaviness at the same time. Alright guys, this is it. This is Æther Realm with Redneck Vikings from Hell. Once again, out May 1st on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.